Rafael Nadal. Yep. But he's not ready to actually do that because he says right now he's training well. He's not feeling the pains he's been feeling before. So he's ready to come out. An Australian Open is obviously going to be his target for Rafael Nadal to have a major comeback if he wants to.
Enough break before the Australian Open, so these players look refreshing. They've rested enough. They've been doing the training.
Did you say they've rested enough?
Yeah, well,
when did they end the season?
I know, because of for Rafael Nadal.
Yeah,
enough rest. Particularly even Roger Federer.
Those two guys have rested.
Good rest. They've been going to play exhibition matches. They've been, going on visits, promoting the game of tennis.
Yeah.
For the Australian Open, it opens a new chapter for tennis every year it comes. And Rafael Nadal, there's nothing wrong with him to dream. The power play, will it affect him again? Because what he's forgetting is that he's not returning those strokes the same way he did when he was 25. That's the problem with his style of play. And then Uncle Tony is not doing anything to change this. So, yeah, I think Rafael Nadal will give us something to talk about if injuries don't
That's the key. I know, and surely going into 2017, that's his wish. He wishes he can stay away from all those injuries that actually affected him last year. You mentioned Uncle Tony as well, so let's just put it back on record now that Carlos Moya is now part of the team. So perhaps we might see a difference in Nadal's style of play. You never can tell, but we might see that. So maybe that will help Rafael Nadal on the long run to extend his career because...
or might make things worse.
Okay, well, it could go either way, but I don't think it's going to make things worse for Nadal. We're just hoping for the best for him because we want to see the top players, playing at their best. I mean, we don't want a situation where Nadal and Roger Federer are pulling out of major events and leaving us with just Andy Murray and
Djokovic. Can you even imagine that Rafael Nadal's last Grand Slam title was in
all the way back?
2014.
Yes, that was at the French
Open.
Open.
2017.
So like once the Australian Open starts, you say it's 3 years. It's going to bounce back. Today he'll be in action in the Mubdala Championship in Abu Dhabi, and he'll be playing against Thomas Berdych later today. We'll just listen to him, how excited he is, just coming back to play tennis again.
Players here, and I feel happy to be back on the competition. Always being back, being away from competition is tough. The comebacks are not easy, but I think I practiced a lot at home in Mallorca, and I practiced well. So I am excited to start the new season and see how the things are going. The main goal is being healthy. If you are healthy, then the rest of the things still difficult, but not impossible. So. The good thing is I practiced a lot during 1.5 months with no pain, and that gave me the chance to practice the things that I wanted to practice, and I now is the moment to compete and have matches. Only with matches you have the chance to be on rhythm and to play well.
Okay, the Mubdala Championship. So we'll be seeing him later today. And after that, he gets to the semi-finals. And if he gets to win this one, it's more like a good way to actually to end the year.
That's right.
And when it starts the new year, we'll be expecting the Australian Open title. If he can, break the door. Because Austin says his FIFA is now 14.
Wow.
That was the last Grand Slam.
So that's not the Rafael Nadal that we know.
We want some competition.
You can't wait for
2017, it's good. Andy Murray is dreaming, but it's good to see Rafael Nadal in the mix. Kai Nishikori needs to step up. Thomas Berdych needs to show that I'm tired of being an underdog. I want to start winning.
Stan.
Stan.
Surely you've got to mention Stan.
Let's round it. Come on, let's round it.
There you go. But these guys, they get to the semifinals, they see that Murray or they see Djokovic, and they say goodbye to themselves.
Rafael Nadal, let's round it. Semifinal tomorrow might just happen also.
Andy Murray. I like what is happening with Andy Murray. And Tayo, yes, it's difficult these days to just say he's the world number one. We didn't see it coming, but yes, Andy Murray is world number one.
Yes,
and when you get to that level, we keep saying that achieving success sometimes is easy. Sustaining it is the problem. But Andy Murray believes that 2017 will be a good year. We'll take a breather. When we come back, we'll talk about Andy Murray and his aspirations for 2017. Don't go anywhere. Stay.
The thing I was most proud of would have been the Olympics, second Olympics. That was special. But the hardest thing was getting to number one because Olympics is 8-day event. Getting to number one, it took me basically it was the whole year. It was right down to the last tournament, the last match of the year to finish number one. So that was really hard, and it took a lot out of me physically and mentally at the end of the year. I was really tired, more tired than I've been at the end of any season that I'd finished before, so it took a lot out of me. I tend to set more short-term goals, and that's worked better for me in the past. Sometimes when I've looked like 5-6 months ahead, that hasn't been good for me, so I tend to look just 1 or 2 months ahead, and that's why I said the Australian Open, it was not that difficult for me to set goals at the beginning of the year, but I think once the Australian Open's done, it's 4 or 5 months until the next slam, and that's where I need to make sure I stay focused. And that's a period of the year where I have struggled at times in the past, post Australian Open, sometimes in Indian Wells and Miami, haven't played so well, and through February, so I'll try to do a better job of that next year. Yeah, want to try, and I've lost in the final there a number of times, so yeah, I'd like to try and get the Australian Open title next month if possible. There's no guarantees, obviously. Like I said, I've played really well there in the past, and it hasn't happened for me, so I'll need to do something a little bit different this year, but I love the conditions there. I enjoy the tournament a lot, and I'll be going in hopefully playing well with a lot of confidence because of the way I finished 2016, so I'll give it a good go this year, but there's no guarantees that will happen for me.